Hey y'all, it's Abby from a little Southwind farm, and it's finally stopped raining enough where I can get out here in this new garden plot and not sink. So getting this plastic, the the woven ground cover, and I had a cow get out and she walked through, but I just went through with a hoe and filled in those little spots. And so what I've done so far is I have this, it was off Amazon, the 6 foot by 300 feet. I didn't know I was getting that large of a roll. It has its pros and cons. Pro is you don't have to make as many passes when you don't have to go up and down as much, and you're using less stakes because the rows are wider. But with one person doing it, it is hard to maneuver such a large roll. So I got these stakes off of Amazon. These are a lot nicer than the ones I've got in the past. I don't think they're gonna rust. These are stainless steel. They're not galvanized, so I don't think they're gonna rust like the galvanized ones. So I'll show you, and I'm using a butane torch to cut it. The first pass I just freehanded it, and it was a pretty clean edge, but not as clean as I would like it. It's better than doing it freehand or using the plumber's torch, but it's still not super clean. So I'll show you how I'm ending this row. I've tacked off the ends here, and then I'll go through after and put down the ones in the middle. But I've got 2 garden stakes, and what I'm gonna do is go in between these so I'll get a cleaner line. Now this bubbled up just a little bit, but I think it will be okay. So hold on a second, I'll show you. And it'll stop where the boards are, and you'll get a less bubbly of a edge. That is, of course, if your stakes are even, you know. And I'll move these down. And you'll have a much cleaner, less bubbled up edge. The other, it cut pretty good, but what happened was when you get towards the end, you have a lot more of this right here. You get bubbly spots, and that makes it harder to straighten out and get your line straight. So now I'm just gonna take these and pull it as tight as I can get it. on the ends. And if I need to come back through and put more stakes in, then I will. But for now, I'm just doing 4. I love Arkansas rock. I have not had any trouble until I start filming, and it's like, oh, let's not work properly. Let's go a little wider. Let's see what happens there. There we go. Okay, so we flipped it around to go the other direction. Got it evened up, got it staked down, and what I've been doing it by myself, is I just come through and kick it, and then I'll straighten it up. Excuse me. I just kick it all the way down, and then I'll straighten it up when I get down here. I was gonna go all the way to here, but it's really muddy. I was gonna go past that, and what I've decided to do is just leave a spot on the backside to plant sunflowers and zinnias, different flowers, and I think that'll look really nice on the backside. And then over here, I think I'm going to put my sweet potatoes in right there, and maybe they can vine up the fence. I'm not sure yet, but I think I'm gonna leave it open. I guess we'll find out. Hold on. All right, guys, thought I'd show you kind of how I'm doing this plastic. I went 2 rows over, and I'm doing a double row, and these are jade bush beans, and with this row I use the butane torch. I usually use a plumber's torch, and this worked okay, but I think I like my normal method better because you get a much cleaner line, and I feel like it will last longer and there will be less fraying, because it didn't really like right here, see, like it heated it up, but you can still see some of the woven spots, and I don't want that to come apart and fray. So I am going to go back to this method. It's real fancy. I just have a broke off electric fence post, soup can. Yeah, I just punched some holes in there, zip tied it, and it's not in there really long enough to to melt it, but if it does, if like these zip ties don't work as well as other ones I've used, then I'll just get some wire and wire it to it. But I did two, and then there's a seam, and I think I'm gonna go 2 in here and make this row. And this row, I think I'm gonna do a double row of burpee stringless pods, so I'll show you what I do. Get this turned on. I really need a tripod. I just haven't. I'm used to doing everything by myself, but hold on a second. Okay, so my zip tie's melted. I remember I did it a little different last time, and it was in a different position, and that's probably why. But these zip ties are a little different. So I'm just gonna cut some wire to finish it. And this will last all season. Hopefully, unless kids take it apart. Kind of mash that down so maybe it won't hook somebody. I just use scissors to like poke through that. All right. And what I think I'm going to do is try to do it without where that won't poke through, because like go past the edge, because if that heats up then I'll have a little side hole right there and I don't really want that. So I guess I could probably do the top part first. Might be easier. Good grief. Y'all, this like trying to do videos with and like still do stuff is hard. So I don't know how people make all these beautiful videos. They probably have like really nice equipment, and I do not. I just have a little iPhone and a little helper. Or no helper. So all right. Got some thunder rolling in.
What are you making with that?
I'm trying to get my can attached to this.
Are you making a video with it?
I was trying to, but I'm not doing a very good job.
Yeah, you are. I can film it.
Well, I kind of have it set up right now, but
Can I film it?
no, not right now, sissy. Okay.
Ever hit me with one of these on the stomach?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You guys need to be playing nicely together, or you'll have consequences. Okay?
I think it's gonna rain over there and not over here.
Well, I wouldn't mind if it rained a little bit, but I don't want it to rain.
A whole bunch.
No.
What's Tara's phone number?
Rebecca, you're not going to go anywhere, so don't ask. Go over there,
I
please.
don't want to go anywhere.
Go over there, please. Anybody have any suggestions for kids that... No.
I don't
Can you please listen and go over there? Thank you. That one was a lot easier to do than the other one. Let's see. Could be better. Could be worse. All right, I think for nothing more than I'm doing today, I think that is going to be fine. Roll that in so nobody gets stabbed.
Should we put on the sprinkler?
Yeah, you can for a little bit, okay?
After Holly.
But you have to get your towels before you come outside. And when I tell you to turn it off, you have to turn it off, okay?
How long do we get to play for?
I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. Sound good?
Can we play for an hour?
You asked and I told you the time, and that's the time I'm going to do. This is probably painful for y'all to watch, but
Oh, that's pretty cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think I'll loosen that sucker up.
Oh yeah,
All right.
sucker.
Sucker. See if I can get a better grip on it.
Yeah. Is it too hard to get it done? Mom, look.
Uh-oh. Here, scooch back.
But it's dried up.
Oh, I'm loosening it.
Why?
Well, I've got a few different distractions here, and my skill level is
To mess up.
it's too messed up. Yeah, that's for sure.
Why you didn't
There
know?
we go. Well, I was twisting the ends one way.
Let me do it. Me way.
I know
Way.
you're pretty strong, but good grief, Abby. I don't do good with multitasking with
Oh, Dad do.
kids, and well, that's great, but Mommy's doing it. All right, go over there,
Why?
because you're gonna play in the sprinkler, remember? In Little Creek.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Papa saw a rattlesnake down there. Yep. Well, shoot, I just broke the wire off. I think that's gonna work.
Huh.
All right, guys, let's see how well it does this time. Just stick your thing
That's pretty well.
Pretty good, huh? Not too bad for some redneckery.
Redneckery.
Redneckery. You got it. All right, got all those holes done. I left about that much room on the end. That way it would be less grassy, because I did overlap over the grass to kind of cut down on it being really close when I'm weed eating and stuff. And like over here, I didn't do quite as far, and I didn't realize until after I already did it. So I'm gonna go, oh, another thing I did. This wider plastic is a lot stretchier than the 3-foot plastic. And I don't know if I got a different gauge, you know, thickness of plastic compared to last year. So to keep it from moving around and bubbling up near the holes, I went and put a steeple in between where the steeples were on the edges. So I just went through, down through here, and did one in between each row, and that really helped on the stretch and the moving around. So I'm gonna do that on here, and then I'm actually probably gonna be out of the steeples for now, but I've got some more coming. And so then I'll do the same thing. I'll do 4, I think I did 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the 5th one, so I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. This one will be 5 right here. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and do my holes for my tomatoes, which will be like 24 to 36 inches. And I think out in this patch, I'm just planning on like tomatoes, peppers, and we'll see how much room I have after that. And then I think in my other garden spot, I'll just kind of make that like the pumpkin and squash patch. But over here in this little dirt spot, I think I've decided to do, I'm kind of nervous to do it because I know they're gonna vine everywhere, but I thought I might do my sweet potatoes there. Because it is in a lower spot and it's holding water a little bit better. So, I mean, it's not like drenched or anything, but it being lower, I'm hoping that if it does rain, it won't be super like dried out here. If it doesn't rain is what I'm trying to say. And then along the back here, we got a lot of rain and it kind of washed out. And I think back here I'm just going to kind of rake it up, till it up, and then put like a backsplash of sunflowers and zinnias and maybe some marigolds. If I don't end up putting sweet potatoes here, I'll probably just do the same here, just it be like a really nice wildflower sunflower area. So guess I'll go ahead and get the row done for the tomatoes. I think I'm actually probably gonna mark those just to make sure I'm getting, hey, what are you doing? Okay, let's not do any more, okay? Are you do that one and then hammer that one in really good, and then we'll save the rest for other things, okay? What'd you find, a bug? What is it? A bug shell. Okay, well, let's throw that on the ground and hammer that in, and then we'll get started on our holes for the tomatoes, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I was gonna show you how I plant my beans in here. You know, planting beans is planting beans, but I kind of have a method just because I get lost sometimes, especially if I have little helpers, knowing where I did what last. So as you can see, those have been scratched up and these haven't. So I just do both rows at the same time, and I take my little tool and I really just go in one time and drag, and that's really all I do, because I just drop the seeds down in the crack, and then now sometimes a grass clump will come up, but I try to stay pretty even. And then I just, this row is the Burpee stringless pod. I just come through and I do 2 in each one. That way I don't have any holes. If I need to thin out later, I will. But just drop 2 down in each one. And then whenever I get ready to cover them up, I just honestly just do that. See any rocks? Toss those suckers out. But yeah, I just fold over the dirt. Just like that. And then I will say, your fingers will get tore up with the smaller holes like the other one, because they're not really big enough to like get in there and move it around. But then I just come back to come right here where I ended at, do the same thing. I like it when it makes a nice clean line like that, because then when I cover them up, it's a lot easier. I can just see if there's a rock. He needs to go. You want them about an inch deep. And that's it. I wanted to say while I was planting these that you don't want them planted really, really deep, but you want them planted enough, because as they absorb moisture before they get ready to sprout, they swell. And when they swell, if they're really close to the surface, they can actually pop up out of the ground. And that means that birds see them and they're like, ooh, a nice fat bean. And they will pluck them right up out of the ground. So you want to make sure that they're about that deep, about an inch. That way when they swell and get big, they stay underneath the soil. Now if you get a lot of rain, they could still push up through the soil, just because it's so wet and the ground's so soft. But with it being soft, you can just push them right back under and they will do just fine. So I'll just go all the way down. I'm already tired. I'm not even halfway down this row and I'm like, maybe I planted too many beans. But I want enough to can. I want enough to freeze and share if I'm able to. So, also, I did 2 rows of tomatoes, and I'm hoping I can put something in between the row and then have them go up each side of it. So I did 24 inches apart. I got 23 holes down each side. So almost 50 there. And I think the rest of it will end up being the rest of the garden, except maybe the very, very end, once I get that plastic laid, will probably be all peppers and tomatoes. If I have any room on the end, the very end over there, I am going to do my squash and zucchini, and then the winter squash will go in the pumpkin patch that I'm gonna do. But yeah, that's what I've got so far. Just gonna finish out this row, and the ground is still pretty moist, so I won't have to water, but if it does get we get a little shower, that will really help them to sprout sooner. So there we go. Okay, so I ended up stopping here. It's about that far. There's a little, about the same amount. I think I'm gonna stop here with the burpee. I marked it where I stopped at with the burpee stringless, and I have some contenders, so I think tomorrow, because I'm exhausted, I think tomorrow or Monday I'll come out and do the rest of this row with contenders. Got some cows over there that are trying to break through the fence, but let's go say hi. Set those down. That one right there is Milk Dud. She was my Jersey's calf. She's finally starting to slick off some. Kind of got a reddish hue to her. He's slicking off. This is Tarzan. He's gonna go to freezer camp in August. But he's looking pretty good. He's a mini, so he's not like, you know, massive, but he's 2 years old in July. So I think he'll be enough for me and my family. And then there's Porter. I think if they haven't fell off already, the boys are about to, oh, they're still hanging on by a thread. They're about to fall off. And there's Mama. She's looking pretty good. What you got? You got some goopy eye? Oh, it's fine. But she's starting to slick off too. They always look really rough in between stages, but he is sure pretty. He looks a lot more Jersey than Tarzan does for sure. And she is going to be bred this fall, so looking forward to that. I don't know why in the camera it looks like she's bald on top, but it's not in person. It's just the way the sun is shining. They've all had their spring worming, and they'll be they've had their spring worming, and so they're doing really good. They'll get another one in about a month. Hey boy. Hey boy. Cow kisses. Cow kisses. Okay. Got my plants hardening off in these little cages because my cats are very destructive. Do what?
You got that all done?
Well, I got done what I'm doing today. I think I'm going to stick a couple tomatoes in the ground and see if they survive the heat. Do some sacrificial tomatoes.
Did There was a hole.
There's Better Boys. So I think we'll just grab a couple of these Better Boys, get them planted, and see how they do the next couple days, and if they need to have any more hardening off.